8 surprising facts about Jamaica that you need to know. The last fact is for those who are single and looking for fun and women. Don't look if you're married. Imagine living in a country with less than $18 a day. Jamaica is located in the Caribbean Sea, south of Cuba and west of the island of Puerto Rico. It is a relatively small island with about 3 million inhabitants, which places it in a low to medium position on the global population scale. The country has a high literacy rate, around 88%, but only about 12% of the population has higher education, showing that access to advanced education is still limited for many. The official language of Jamaica is English. But Jamaican Creole, a mix of English with African and indigenous influences, is widely used in daily communication by the population. The country's economy is considered medium-sized by Caribbean standards, sustained mainly by tourism, agriculture, and mining. In the global economy ranking, Jamaica is among the countries with an emerging economy, supported especially by the tourism flow that generates a large part of the country's revenue. Historically, Jamaica has not experienced declared wars on its territory recently, but it has faced social and political conflicts that marked its history, especially in the post-independence period. Regarding hospitality, the Jamaican people are known worldwide for their receptiveness and friendliness, valuing human contact and welcoming visitors in the global safety ranking. Unfortunately, Jamaica is among the countries with higher rates of serious crimes, including homicides and violent robberies, which concerns both residents and tourists. Annually, the country records thousands of serious crimes, which affects its international image. The average weight range of the population varies between 70 to 80 kilograms. It's a result of a diet rich in carbohydrates and traditional local foods, combined with a lifestyle that can vary between active and sedentary. Depending on the region and the socioeconomic condition of the people, the climate in Jamaica is tropical, with temperatures that can reach 32 degrees Celsius at the peak of summer and rarely drop below 18 degrees Celsius in winter, maintaining a warm and humid environment for most of the year. Regarding cleanliness, the country is not well positioned in the global ranking of cleanest countries, facing challenges related to basic sanitation and waste management, which affect the environmental quality of some regions. In summary, Jamaica is a country with a small population, basic literacy, an economy centered on tourism, security issues, and environmental challenges. But it stands out for the hospitality of its people and pleasant climate. In Jamaica, there is a fruit that carries a story as curious as it is dangerous. Although it is a national symbol and widely consumed in the daily life of the population, it hides a secret few imagine. Raw, it is poisonous and can even kill. This fruit has a striking appearance. The problem lies in trying to consume it before it naturally opens or using parts that should not be eaten. In that state, it contains a toxic substance capable of causing severe symptoms in a few minutes. Among the poisoning effects are intense vomiting, seizures, disorientation, and, in more serious cases, coma and death. This clinical picture is so characteristic that it even earned a local nickname, linked to how the body reacts to contact with the fruit's natural poison. The curious thing is that, despite all this, it is an essential part of the country's typical diet. When properly treated, it becomes the main ingredient of a traditional dish that blends flavor, history, and cultural identity. The preparation involves waiting for the fruit to ripen naturally on the tree, opening on its own. Only then can it be harvested and carefully cleaned, removing any part that might pose a risk. Next, the pulp is boiled, usually with other local ingredients, until it is safe and ready to be served. At this point, the danger disappears, giving way to a unique flavor that represents the pride and heritage of the local people. Besides being consumed as food, the fruit is also used in celebrations, cultural events, and even as a symbol in official documents. The contrast between the risk it poses when raw and its cultural and culinary importance, when properly prepared, is what makes it so special. It's as if it were a reflection of the country's own history, full of challenges, but also full of beauty, resilience, and identity. For those visiting this tropical place, trying this food may seem frightening at first, especially when discovering its dangerous side, but with proper guidance and care and preparation, it turns into an unforgettable experience, both for the flavor and the history it carries. Eating this fruit the right way is almost a ritual of respect for the local culture, a way to connect with the daily life of those who grew up learning early on how to deal with nature's mysteries. As strange as it may seem, the fact that something so dangerous is also so valued says a lot about the relationship between the people and the land. It's as if there were an ancestral wisdom passed down from generation to generation, teaching that everything has its time, its way, its right way to be lived. This fruit is more than food. It is a symbol of the duality between care and pleasure, between the natural and the lethal, between tradition and risk. Thus, knowing this fruit is also knowing a deep piece of the soul of those who live in this vibrant place. It's understanding that, even among dangers, life can be sweet. You just need to know how to harvest, wait for the right moment, and respect what nature teaches. Not everyone knows, but the island of reggae, sun, and beaches almost became home to an active volcano. Although there have been no eruptions there, the risk was once considered real, keeping scientists and residents on alert for a long time. The region is positioned over an area of the planet where the Earth's crust plates are in constant motion. These plates, when they collide or slide over each other, often cause tremors and, in some cases, create space for magma to rise. It was precisely this that raised concern. Certain geological signs suggested that, at some point, nature might decide to manifest more intensely. Research conducted on the soil revealed ancient traces of very deep volcanic activity. In some areas, gases and vapors emerged from the ground, sparking speculation. For a while, it was believed that there was a dormant system underground, and if it awoke, it could cause a massive impact in the region. The heat beneath the surface, combined with ground movement, showed signs similar to those found in places with active volcanoes today. The good news is that over the years, more in-depth studies showed that there was no magma chamber close enough to cause a real eruption. The risk, which once caused fear, was gradually ruled out. Still, this discovery reinforced the importance of studying the Earth's behavior, even in places known more for beaches than natural disasters. Even without lava flowing, the idea that a tropical paradise almost had an active volcano shows how nature is full of hidden surprises. Beneath the firm and tranquil ground, there may be explosive stories waiting to be discovered. Long before becoming the tourist destination known for its paradisiacal beaches and contagious rhythm, this tropical island was home to a completely different story, marked by chaos, ambition, violence, and extreme freedom. It was, for a long time, the home of the most feared pirates on the planet. It wasn't just a stopover. It was where they lived, did business, hid, and lived like true uncrowned kings. At that time, the seas were dominated by warships, trade, routes rich in gold, silver, rum, fabrics, spices, and all sorts of goods from distant lands. But where there was wealth, there were also watchful eyes ready to attack. The pirates knew this and organized themselves like true criminal enterprises. They attacked unsuspecting vessels, plundered ports, and returned to their main base, a piece of land where the law barely existed. That place was considered one of the most dangerous in the world. With streets crowded with people from all corners, the place was buzzing all the time. During the day, negotiations happened without restraint. Trades, sales, bets, smuggling. At night, the atmosphere turned into a den of excess. Violent disputes, broken alliances, and betrayals paid in blood were common. Those who ruled weren't the law, it was fear. But what made that place so special for pirates was the freedom. No other port offered as much safety for criminals as there possible. to arrive with a ship loaded with stolen goods and sell them freely. The pirates had their own rules, their own hierarchies, and lived on the margins of any government. And as they were surrounded by the sea, they protected themselves easily, making any attempt at invasion or control difficult. The place's fame spread worldwide. Many young people, with no future in their lands, dreamed of arriving there to live as pirates. Some became legends. Others disappeared before even setting foot on land. The promise was simple: quick wealth, intense life, and total freedom, but all at a high price. Those who survived had scars to tell stories, but the limitless life took its toll. One day, without warning, the earth shook and the sea revolted. A natural disaster of gigantic proportions swept part of the city off the map. In a matter of minutes, buildings sank, ships disappeared, and many lives were lost. The chaos turned to silence. Many believed it was divine punishment for everything that had been lived there. Others simply accepted that nature decided to cleanse what men had corrupted. Over time, what remained of that legendary place was swallowed by the sea. Today, divers still find remnants of wood, ancient objects, pieces of cannons, coins, tools, and artifacts from that era. It's as if the ocean floor had become a secret vault guarding everything the books don't tell. What wasn't taken by the waters became legend, told in whispers between one song and another, as part of the local folklore. This story shows that, far beyond the natural beauty and captivating music, there is a dark, intense, and fascinating past. A time when ordinary men and women became legends, driven by the desire to live free, even if it meant defying entire empires. A time when a simple island became the center of the pirate world. And even though today it is covered by sun and peace, those who dive deep into this past discover that the waves still whisper stories of hidden treasures, betrayals, conquests, and freedom. In the past, a natural tragedy deeply marked the history of this tropical island, now known for its sun, beaches, and music. A powerful earthquake shook its lands, causing a disaster that swallowed an entire city and changed the lives of those who lived there forever. It was a prosperous region of movement and life, an important point on the maritime trade route of the time. People lived between port work, bustling markets, and the constant coming and going of ships. The city, which seemed secure for many years, was located in an area where the Earth's tectonic plates meet, a region known for its geological instability. Then, on an ordinary morning, the ground began to shake like never before. First, there were small tremors that left residents startled but not serious. However, soon came an intense, violent, and unexpected quake, capable of toppling buildings and opening fissures in the ground. Chaos set in within seconds. Streets were swallowed, buildings collapsed, and the sea invaded the land, consuming what remained. What happened was a devastating combination. The earthquake caused landslides, and part of the land simply gave way, sinking into the ocean. In a matter of minutes, much of the city disappeared under the waters, taking with it houses, people, ships, and all the bustle of that prosperous life. The impact was not just local. The waves generated by the quake spread across the sea, causing tsunamis that hit nearby coastal regions. The tragedy mobilized efforts to save survivors and rebuild what was possible. But the city never returned to what it was before. This natural disaster became a somber memory, a milestone in the country's history. To this day, geological studies seek to better understand what happened, analyzing changes in the soil and the impact of tectonic plates in that specific region. For local residents, the memory is passed down from generation to generation, as a warning about the power of nature and the fragility of human life before it. The tragedy also inspired stories, legends, and songs that speak of loss, survival, and hope. Even with the destruction, the people who live there are known for their resilience, ability to start over, and celebrate life despite adversities. Today, Those who visit this place can dive near the coast and find remnants of that lost city-submerged vestiges that silently tell what the earthquake took. These relics serve as a reminder of the power of the earth and sea and the importance of respecting nature's signs. This story reinforces that behind the tropical climate and joyful vibration, there is a past marked by events that tested the strength and courage of a people. A past that, despite destruction, shows the human capacity to resist and continue, always in search of better days. In Jamaica, a country famous for its contagious rhythm, the heat of parties, and the energy of music, there is a rule that surprises those who don't know the local culture deeply. Dancing in a way considered obscene can land someone in jail. It sounds strange, doesn't it? After all, the people are known for celebrating dance and bodily freedom, but the law imposes strict limits. Very explicit movements, judged as indecent or offensive, especially in public, are prohibited. The idea is to maintain a certain standard of decorum and avoid situations that might cause discomfort or offense to those around. Therefore, during parties, shows, and events, it's common to see inspectors on alert and even police ready to act against what they consider excesses. This doesn't mean people don't dance or express themselves freely. Quite the contrary. Dance is part of the country's soul, and traditional steps are celebrated worldwide. However, when choreography crosses certain boundaries and is seen as too provocative, with gestures that suggest something sexually explicit, there may be legal intervention. The law on this is old, originating from times when more conservative values prevailed. Even today, it is enforced in specific situations, especially when there are complaints from residents or authorities. Those caught dancing in this way can be detained, pay fines, or even spend time in jail, depending on the severity of the case. This rule is a curiosity that shows a lesser-known side of the country, which, despite its reputation for freedom and partying, maintains certain traditions and customs that regulate public behavior. For visitors, it's important to be aware of this to avoid problems, especially at large events where enforcement is stricter. Thus, dance remains a powerful form of cultural expression, but with an invisible limit that no one should cross. It's a balance between celebrating life and respecting the norms that govern social coexistence in that vibrant place. If you're enjoying the video, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. In Jamaica, dance is not just a form of fun, it is an essential part of the culture, identity, and even the local economy. Across the country, dance competitions attract crowds, ignite passions, and, above all, offer valuable prizes that go far beyond money. These rhythm battles are the stage where talent, technique, and creativity meet, turning young people and adults into true idols. Participating in a dance competition, there is more than just showing off steps. It's a test of skill, endurance, and stage presence. Dancers train for months, perfecting movements and creating choreographies that blend tradition and innovation. They know that to win, it's not enough to be good. They must impress judges and audiences, bringing energy and originality. The prizes offered are quite significant. Besides cash, many winners receive contracts to perform at events, opportunities to travel, and even invitations to work with big names in local music. This visibility opens doors and can transform the life of those who take first place. In an economy where opportunities are not always abundant, these prizes represent a real chance for growth. But the value of victory is not just material. The respect earned in communities is immense. Competition champions are seen as role models, leaders who inspire young people and keep the dance tradition alive. In many cases, they become teachers, coaches, and even mentors for the new generation. Being recognized as a great dancer is a symbol of social status and personal pride. Competitions happen at various levels, from small battles in neighborhoods to large events organized in public spaces with thousands of spectators. In all of them, healthy rivalry stimulates creativity, improvement, and local culture. The music that drives these competitions is usually vibrant, full of rhythm, and marked by styles born there, carrying the stories and feelings of the people. Moreover, these events are community celebrations where families and friends gather to cheer and celebrate. The dance, sound, and energy captivate everyone present, creating a unique atmosphere that reflects the soul of that people. Often, these gatherings also serve to discuss important issues, strengthen social bonds, and promote culture in all its forms. The importance of dance competitions in Jamaica goes beyond entertainment. They are tools for social transformation, generating opportunities and hope for many young people. It is through them that talents are discovered and stories of overcoming gain a voice. Therefore, dancing is not just a pleasure, it is a way to assert identity, earn respect, and build a better future. In summary, dance competitions in that vibrant place are true spectacles of talent, culture, and emotion. They offer high prizes, yes, but above all, it's recognition of a community that knows how to value its people and its art. For those who witness it, it's impossible not to be enchanted and inspired by the strength and passion these dancers deliver with every step in Jamaica, a land known for its lush landscapes, white sandy beaches, and contagious musical rhythms. There is a deep and often mysterious cultural aspect, the popular practices known as obia. These folk magic traditions are part of the history and identity of the people, tied to an ancestral heritage that spans centuries and carries the struggle, faith, and resilience of culture that has never faded. Obia is not a formal or structured religion. It is a set of spiritual beliefs and practices brought by enslaved African peoples and blended with elements of other religious and cultural traditions that passed through the island over time. This mixture created a complex system involving the use of herbs, spells, prayers, rituals, amulets, and secret knowledge, usually passed down orally from one generation to another. Its practice is surrounded by respect, secrecy, and, in many cases, fear and prejudice. Throughout history, obia was targeted for persecution. During the colonial period, strict laws banned its practice, aiming to control and suppress the spirituality of the enslaved, who used these beliefs to resist and find strength amid adversity. Despite the repression, obia remained alive, practiced in the shadows and rural communities, where tradition and knowledge were preserved with care. The essence of obia lies in a deep connection with nature and the spiritual world. Practitioners use medicinal plants, amulets, and rituals for protection, healing, conflict resolution, and sometimes to influence people or situations. This folk magic can be used for both good and ill, contributing to the mysterious aura surrounding its practices. For many, obia is a path to balance between invisible forces where faith and ancestral wisdom meet in the modern context. Despite some lingering taboo, obia is recognized by many as an important part of local culture and Jamaican identity. It appears in music, stories, and art, symbolizing the resilience of a people who never forgot their roots, even in the face of attempts to erase them. This practice is also seen as a way to seek protection and hope in difficult times, showing its social and spiritual relevance. It's important to note that obia should not be confused with other religions or popular cults. Its unique characteristics involve a direct relationship with the natural environment, with invisible forces that, according to practitioners, govern people's destinies. This deep connection with the natural world is one of the pillars of the practice, where every plant, object, and gesture holds special meaning. Moreover, obia is enveloped in a system of respect and its own rules. Breaking these rules can bring serious consequences, according to local belief, which maintains the secrecy and power of these practices. Often, the knowledge is reserved for a few, making obia a mystery to outsiders, but a precious heritage for those who carry it. This tradition also influences popular culture and is a constant theme in books, films, and songs, where it is portrayed as a mystical element, capable of provoking fear or fascination. For many Jamaicans, Obeah is a living part of daily life, a reminder of the connection between past and present, between the visible and the invisible, between struggle and hope. Thus, understanding Obeah is understanding a little more about the soul of Jamaica. It is realizing that there, beyond the joy and music, there is a deep history of faith, magic, and resilience. It is recognizing that magic is not just fantasy, but part of a way of life, a culture that survived against all odds and continues to influence those who live in that land of sun and mysteries. In Jamaica, besides the traditional party and meeting spots, there are places known to those seeking more intimate and quick encounters, often frequented by people with a womanizing style. These places function as spaces where discretion and desire mix, offering environments for those who want to live uncommitted adventures. These are establishments that, although not openly advertised, are locally known and frequented by those seeking company for the night or moments of pleasure. The atmosphere in these places is generally reserved, with spaces that provide privacy and comfort, so encounters are quick and intense. Besides fixed establishments, there are also street points where sex workers gather, offering their services in exchange for money or gifts. In these places, movement is constant, and negotiations happen quickly, always accompanied by a watchful eye for safety and mutual respect. These spaces, though often marginalized, are part of the local, social, and economic reality and are a meeting point for many seeking uncommitted fun. Because of this, they are integrated into the nightlife, especially in areas with more tourists and locals who enjoy partying. It's common for these places to also have music, drinks, and a party atmosphere, even if the main focus is intimate encounters. This mix creates an environment where people can relax, have fun, and enjoy the moment freely. Even with all this dynamic, it's important to remember that safety and respect are essential, both for those who frequent and those who work in these places. Many establishments have measures to ensure everything happens as safely as possible. In summary, in Jamaica, besides the beaches and parties, there are these more reserved spaces, part of the scene of quick and intense encounters, catering to those seeking pleasure and company without commitment, amid the vibrant and relaxed atmosphere of the country. Hello everyone, I'm grateful for you joining me on this adventure. Now I want to know, did you enjoy traveling side by side with me through this country? Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and check out the other videos on the channel, each one more interesting than the last. Until next time, and thanks for watching.